then having some instruction from somebody that's already capable. Because if you just try to jump in and guess, you're going to guess a lot of things wrong. Not that you're likely to hurt yourself so much, but more that you're likely to damage your razor. They're very fragile. They say that the cutting edge of the blade is only, I think, a half micron. I mean, it's incredibly thin. They're barely there. They're a fraction of the width of a hair, and it doesn't take much to damage that. And in fact, each shave is enough to reduce the quality of the edge that it has to be stropped again before the next shave. You can feel the difference of going 2 shaves without stropping a razor. 1 shave, yeah, pretty much. 2 shaves for sure, you'll say it's degraded. And you need a strop to bring that very fine edge back. I think maintenance is very important to understand, and the first thing is, as you asked, about letting a blade get wet. I think if you let your razor get wet, you're probably either going to allow it to rust, or worse yet, if it gets wet while you're shaving and that's compounded with soap on your hands, you're going to have something that's hard to hold. It's going to be slippery. And for me, shaving with a straight razor involves practically no grip at all. It's barely in my hand. As such, if you make a little goof, or you round a turn, or if you have a little some sort of aberration in your skin where it's not perfectly flat, the blade will probably just wobble right over it. So squeezing tight is not good. A light touch is good, and a light touch is practically impossible if you have water or soap on the razor, at least where your fingers are. Another thing about a razor is never reach under a faucet with one, because sooner or later you'll hit the faucet. it's a certainty. Everybody who reaches under a faucet will ding a razor and probably ruin it. The best thing that can happen is a little chip that can be sanded out or honed out, but typically you lose a chunk or you crack the razor, and then it's good for nothing. Proper grip. Some people say 2 fingers on top, 1 on the tail. Other people say 3 on the top, 1 on the tail. But I have big hands, and I find that grip is very stable and very comfortable. Keep it dry, keep a light touch, and most important, when you're done, wipe it clean. Not just clean, but also wipe it dry. And then finish off with 10, 15, maybe 20 laps on leather, which will take any moisture off the very cutting edge of the blade and prevent oxidation on the most important part of the razor. A friend of mine recently bought a lovely, brand new, high quality razor, and he traveled with it. And in the course of traveling, he closed it up every day and put it in his travel bag, and it didn't take but the tiny bit of moisture that was in there to be left in proximity to the blade for a day or 2, and that blade got rust on it. Now, it's not ruined, but it's going to have to be sanded out and buffed out and polished out to get it right again. So for me, putting a razor away usually involves wiping it clean, giving it maybe 10 laps on leather, and then letting it sit like that for 12 or 24 hours. Usually when I have a razor in my rotation, it's just going to sit on the bathroom counter like that until the next time I need it. And that ensures any moisture that's down here between the scales or any residual on the blade is going to dry in the air pretty quickly. And then that last strop, this is ready to put away, and it'll be just like this, nice and shiny, nice and sparkly, 60, 70 years old, and ready to go next time I shave.